Man, it is Friday. It sounds like crap because this weather change that Ohio keeps doing has my sinuses all gummed up. It's not fun. Part of living here, though, right? Still don't know why I live here. Anyway, heading into work, like usual. I slept really good last night, but I don't know why I feel kind of exhausted. Anyway, I don't know. Pretty pumped about the day. We should have a really good day today. As long as things don't get out of hand with orders and whatnot. Anyway. So, excuse me, man, I'm sorry. I wanted to talk about being positive, right? Which is going to be kind of funny because I'm talking about being positive while I'm like yawning and tired and all that fun stuff. That sucks. You got to remember to stay positive in all situations. A great deal of the time, we find ourselves in situations that we don't want to be in, or problems we don't want to deal with, or engaging with other individuals that aren't positive, that are very negative. And when we do that, we got to take a step back and look at what has brought us to that place, and we have to try to figure out a way to either one, grow from it, or two, get away from it. Some situations I feel like we place ourselves in because of our own stupidity. Those are things that we need to learn to get out of. There are other situations that were forced upon us, things that were out of our control that we fell into, that wasn't our choosing, wasn't our fault. We did nothing to engage it or bring it on ourselves. It's just part of life or whatever. Those situations, I honestly feel like we were put in them to grow from them. You don't gotta believe they're in a higher power. I do. I believe that there's a God. But I really do feel like even if you don't believe in a higher power, you should at least believe in self-growth. Like self-improvement, self-growth, bettering. Just the bettering of yourself. And a lot of those situations that we get put into, those are like that. They're bad situations that we didn't necessarily bring upon ourselves, but we're in it, and we need to grow from it. And when I say grow from it, I'm not saying, do whatever you can to avoid it next time. I'm talking about growing it as in explore your capabilities in the problem. A lot of the times we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we can do. We just don't. And it's because we're programmed not to. We're programmed to believe that we are we rely on others. That's the way we're programmed to be. We rely on the internet, we rely on the news media, we rely on our government, we rely on this, that, and so on and so forth. But you as a person, you would be really amazed to see what you can do if you just try it. Just do it on your own. See what happens. A great deal of the reason why we run away from trying to problem solve and do things on our own is, one, we don't have enough positivity. We don't have enough of a positive outlook, and it's because of that whole entire you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. It's that being driven into your head over and over and over again. It's like working on a car. Most car problems are easy. Most, unless you're talking about disassembling the block and replacing a piston, or switching out gears in a transmission, a great deal of car problems are stuff you can do at home. But the problem is, we've been told so many times over and over and over again, you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. You don't know what you're doing, don't do it. You don't know what you're doing, don't try it. You don't know what you're doing, don't do it. That we get to a place where we get scared to fail. So we just don't. We're scared of a failure. We don't have the, solid positive feed in our lives. Those two things put together are a deadly combination. That's why I say, one, surround yourself with people that are positive. Don't let people with a negative or just bad vibe, don't let them around you. The reason why is because they bring you down with them. Misery loves company. It's a very old saying, but it's a very true, very real, very solid saying. So the goal is, from here on forward, when you run into a problem, you don't run away from the problem. You head down, shoulder down, bury your heels, and go through it. And you grow from it, and you learn from it, and you become better from it. We look at problems too much in a negative light. There are meant to be struggles. And those struggles are what make you iron. I watch Forged by Fire all the time. It's a really cool show if you've never heard of it. Basically, it's a show showing blacksmithery. Like, they go and they forge knives and swords and axes and those kind of things. And it's a competition to see who can forge the best sword, axe, whatever that day is supposed to be. And they do this thing, it's called a quench, right? So once they assemble this weapon and get the general feel for it, right? Get the general shape, general sharpness, and they get it to where it's just about done. They do this thing, and this is what I feel like it's like when we come upon problems in our lives and situations that could grow us. The blacksmith comes to a place where he's got to take his axe, his sword, whatever that is, and he's got to quench it, which is basically dipping it in fire to basically it solidifies the blade, gives it its hardened, stern, shape, and basically, molds it to be ready just to be final, to get the final touches. Like, ran through the grinder just to get the last little bit of sharp edge put on and those kind of things. That's the way I feel like some of our problems in life are. It's our quench. It's us getting dipped in fire so that we can come out harder, stronger, more solidified, more solid, more battle tested, if you will, on the other side of it. So when you run into a negative problem or a bad situation, one, figure out if you can grow from it, or if it's honestly just something you need to walk away from. Because some of our problems are you can walk away from, because they're not necessarily your problem, but you take it on as such. 2, if you can, grow through it. And you can. And 3, the most important one, when you come outside of that quench, when you come outside of that situation, that bad problem that you went through, that hard time, just understand that you're battle tested, you're ready to go. I think that's all I got for this morning. This sucks. I hate sinuses. I hate rain. You guys have an awesome Friday. The weekend, right? The weekend. You guys have an awesome Friday. I will see you tomorrow.